Okay, so we're here. It's time. Time to play my old, what arguably, without a doubt, my old-time favorite game, Metal Gear Solid. Now I've always listed this. I've always listed this as one of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorites, but it's no denying it now. There's no denying it now. This game, Metal Gear Solid, is my all-time favorite game. I'm rating this above. I'm rating this above Mass Effect. That's how bold. That's how high I'm ranking this. I'm ranking this above Mass Effect. So yeah, we're gonna move on to Metal Gear Solid. Okay, so let's do options. Do screen. Line left. Okay, wallpaper. Let's see which wallpaper I want to do. This one's good. Let's see. Do we want to do the Do we want to do the Cyber Ninja wallpaper? Or one of these two? Or portrait of Solid and Liquid? Font sound or we could do a West wallpaper. Now let's do let's do this. Let's do this. You know, because my webcam is going to be over that wallpaper, and I kind of want to have one that's not really distracting. This is my favorite stream on the Citadel. Hi, Owan. I mean, hi, In7 Paragon. How's it going? So we got the original Metal Gear Solid. We got the original Metal Gear Solid that we can do. But I think I am going to do Metal Gear Solid Integral. I think I want to do Metal Gear Solid Integral. Let's set the save data. So we got Silent Hill, Suikoden, Castlevania, and Suikoden. Actually, wait. We got two Suikodens. Let's try Dance Dance Revolution. Let's see. We'll see what Sega Mantis had to say about this. Though the integral version, integral version, I'm not really sure what dialogue Psycho Mantis has for the integral version. Because remember, the integral version was only released in Japan. And while the integral version does have English voice acting, I don't really know what all Psycho Mantis reacts to. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so yeah. I'm back out of here. And we're going to start the main game. Doing okay? Still have a cough still? Ooh. Did you take a test? Did you take a test to see if you have it or not? discovery.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
One man alone against an army. Wouldn't be the first time. Alright, so let's go into options real quick. Most of the dialogue, most of the on-screen text is in Japanese, but I can at least change the subtitles. I can at least change the subtitles into English. Okay, so before we commence with the operation, let's check out the briefing. Let's learn about the operation that we are about to undertake. And yes, he is naked in the
It's been a long time, Snake.
in this briefing.
Should've known you were behind this, Colonel.
That's no way to greet an old war buddy, Snake.
What do you want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you. But we've got a serious situation here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
You will take these orders. I know it.
Excuse me.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff, and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't hurt a bit.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
Snake, listen up. It all went down 5 hours ago. Heavily armed soldiers occupied Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
Next Generation Special Forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and the president of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker. They're both being held as hostages.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do. Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
So they're showing Snake here with blonde hair. Which, I'm not so that pretty much says that blonde is the natural hair color of the snakes. But they show Snake with brown hair in the first 2 games. It's just interesting.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon disposal facility.
The disposal facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology.
Hope it's enough.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Let's hope that suit is enough to keep him from freezing. Otherwise, he'd be a snake sickle.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
Do they say what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the target.
When did the countdown start?
5 hours ago.
So that gives him like 19, 18 hours. Okay, let's exit and view that secret briefing tape. Oh. Huh. Looks like I got far enough. Looks like I got far enough that that secret tape won't play. Some of these briefings you can
Who are
control.
you speaking for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the President must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet. The Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
So that briefing tape I was telling you guys about, there's a tape that you play once you exit, where Snake will object to being on this mission, and Snake and Campbell will try to persuade him to accept it. Pretty much saying that he has no choice but to accept it. And say that he's trying to give him back his purpose in life. But looks like I got far enough in playing these that that tape won't play. I guess I should have played it right after the first one. But anyway, let's view the rest of these briefing tapes. I usually do this before every playthrough.
Backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know. That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko. She'll be providing you backup by codec.
A female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor.
Notice what I said about Chernobyl?
Search team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
At her home in Los Angeles.
California. Seems like 1,000,000 miles away.
She'll mention that in her in one of her coded conversations. Actually, Nastasha there is actually the only support is the only member of your support team that you don't really have to contact at all. You can go through the whole game without contacting her.
Colonel, you're retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that really the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy liar. Tell me the real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is being held hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
Meryl Silverberg.
What was your niece doing here?
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl.
18.
He died in the Gulf War. Since then, I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm just an old man now. And I'm your friend.
Since when are we friends?
I've thought of us as friends since the fall of Zanzibar.
With my personality, I don't have too many friends.
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes
Didn't
you
stop
human.
Holly.
Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have two conditions.
Name them.
1, no more secrets between us. I want complete disclosure at all times. And 2, I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing.
What?
I'm not a colonel anymore. Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand, Colonel.
You know, Sink said with his personality, he doesn't have many friends, but that didn't stop Harley from crushing on him. Did it? I wonder what ever happened. I wonder what ever happened to Harley. I bet she's still working somewhere as a journalist, but I wonder what happened to her. Also, I knew Meryl was young, but I didn't realize she was that. I didn't realize she was that young. I didn't realize she was that young. So this should be about Naomi.
That doctor, is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse. I'm a scientist.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of nanomachines and an anti-freezing peptide so that your blood and other bodily fluids don't freeze, even at subarctic temperatures.
Nanomachines?
Not just one kind, either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
Now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make
I
me smarter,
could use
huh?
that.
Anything else?
Yes, Benzedrine. It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
That mental stimulus sounds like something I could use, to be honest. Okay, so that's enough about our support team. Now let's find out about the enemies we'll be facing, as well as their demands. Oh, and the hostages as well.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an arms manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they testing some kind of new advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
I don't know. Metal Gears must be a magnet for Snake. Like, it seems like no matter which mission it goes to, he's drawn to Metal Gears.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say
Which
they
button
do.
is it to change
They
cameras?
even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
What's the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so.
There we go.
At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL.
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapons systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
Because the DARPA chief knows the detonation code.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you have enough money and the right connections.
Okay, so I'm thinking this should be about the demands.
How well armed are these
Oh,
terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
about to head to bed, but what are you playing now? I'm playing Metal Gear Solid. I just wrapped up Metal Gear 2, and now I'm moving on to the next. Now I'm moving on to Metal Gear Solid.
So what exactly are they demanding?
Yep. This time I'm playing Integral.
Remains.
That's
I'm
right.
playing the Integral version.
More accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens. Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project. They've been mapping the human genome, and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes, and using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
But yeah, how are you in Lower Philly, by the way?
Gene therapy, we can remove those genes which
Getting
we know
better?
may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay. And so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
Big Boss.
One of the greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryo chamber. His genomic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
You people are amazing. And then you're gonna transplant those genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't give them his body. It's potentially more dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss?
Alright, now let's find out about the Next Generation Special Forces. You know, I could see them doing that one day. Using gene therapy. Using gene therapy like that. To make
Tell me about these
on the
next
soldiers.
generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units, technical escort units, and the nuclear emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit, Force
Were they
21,
involved in
infiltrate.
Zanzibar as
If you
well?
ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real battle experience.
Video game players, huh?
Don't forget they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I thought using genetically modified soldiers was prohibited by international law.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
Of course it wouldn't stop
Every
them.
member of the unit conspired in this attack.
Of course that wouldn't stop them.
How could an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The sons of Big Boss. But if they were regular army, they must have been interviewed periodically by army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No, several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We've been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
Oh, I guess that's thrown out of the window. Alright, now we find out about Foxhound and which members are involved.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter.
Looks like a lovely bunch of folks.
And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
You know, I very much doubt that these guys will be let in. I very much doubt these guys will be let in under Campbell's tenure as Foxhound CEO.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man with the same codename as you.
Tell me what you
Solid
know.
versus the Liquid.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS. His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate Western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
But he never once showed his face in Century House. He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
I don't know his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's a photo of him. Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
I have a twin?
I don't know the details, but it seems so. That's why we really need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
Well, that's it for the briefing. That's everything we need to know going into the operation.
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry, just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
I need to stop saying operation. It sounds like I'm getting ready for a surgery. All right, so let's start. Now I could do very easy. Which gives us the MP5 with a silencer in lieu of the Farmus. But no, I'm going to do easy. Also, another reason why I'm doing the integral version is so that I can unlock the first person mode.
I know it. I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
Now, interesting thing, besides from David Hayter, all the voice actors in this game, all the voice actors here are using aliases. Like, I'm pretty sure Cam Clark was going by James Flinders.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface. But make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got
Got
it.
it.
Okay. I'm ready,
Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to get started. Okay, so first off, I'm going into the water. Pick up my first ration. Now, S is the crouch button. Move the D-pad while crouched, and move the D-pad while crouched, and you crawl. And I gotta be careful. There are puddles of water. I make noise if I step on them. Okay. Where's that guy gonna go? Going this way. I'm pretty sure that one guard is going to move down. There we go.
Snake, there's an elevator there you can take up to the ground. You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You better hide somewhere.
Right. So yeah, I loaded around this forklift. Just wait for the elevator to come down. Now there will be a guard that comes down along with the elevator. So you have to be aware of that as you wait for the elevator to come down. But yeah, triangle is first person view. Circle is the punch button, as well as the action button. L2 is the item window. Highlight an item and release, and it will be equipped. L1 is the quick equip, or quick equip. Tap it to unequip, and tap it again to re-equip the last item you had equipped. Oh. And same goes for the weapon window, which is R2 and R1. Okay, so wait for that one guy to move down. Alright, we're clear. Very nicely done. Nicely done, if I do say so myself. Metal Gear Solid.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm
Yeah.
grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the
I hope
diversionary
so.
operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Behind D. Colonel. What's the Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed.
I Another Metal Gear, another Hind D, another Hind D.
There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake.
You're not the first one.
But I'm surprised.
You're not the first one to be hit on.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system. The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I love my
I'm also in
headband.
charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 1.
Takes a little use too, but I love my headband.
It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
She winked.
Except for your
She winked at
binoculars,
us.
you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
Well, I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry
What if
on
you
the
said you
left,
had pizza?
and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
They might let you in if you said you had pizza delivery.
What about the air duct near the door?
Too risky.
There should also be a duct on the second floor.
That's the route I did. That's the route I go with.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Yeah. I think they let him in if Snake said he had pizza delivery. Outer Heaven Pizza. Outer Heaven Pizza Services with a pizza delivery for Liquid Snake. I got one meat lovers and one pineapple extravaganza. Because, you know, Liquid is probably so evil. Liquid is probably so evil, he puts pineapple on his pizza.
What can I do for you, Snake?
Now, one of the joys of saving with with Maylene, her poetry.
Snake, remember what the Gaul said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all alone and surrounded by bad guys. Try to be careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow, you know all sorts of great quotes, don't you?
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China, but I was born and raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it.
Aww. So, I can't imagine how Snake. I can't imagine Snake eating those cigarettes. I just can't. He hit him in his stomach. So he like swallowed a bunch. So he like swallowed a bunch of pack. So what? He swallowed a pack of cigarettes and pooped them out later. I think I saw a comic about that. From an artist that I recently discovered. Trying to look up her oh yeah, that's Raspberry. She does Metal Gear comics, and she did one where Solid Snake just gobbled down a pack of cigarettes. She does some fun artwork. She does some fun artwork though. Alright, so there are some chaff grenades in the middle of the heliport. I'm not even going to attempt to grab them. But there is a high chance, of getting spotted by those spotlights. So, I'm not going to chance it. I am not going to chance it. Not at all. Alright, let me call Cambo and get Nastasia's frequency.
Good. You've got yourself a weapon. To use it, first hold down the R2 button to enter weapon mode. Then select the weapon you want with the directional button. After you've selected the weapon you want, let go of the R2 button to exit weapon mode. The weapon you selected should appear in your hand. To use the weapon, follow the directions displayed in the window. If you use the R1 button, you can equip your weapon more quickly. While you're barehanded, press the R1 button to equip the last weapon you used. Press the R1 button while you're holding a weapon to be barehanded again. Don't fire your gun needlessly, or you might be discovered. If you had a gun with a suppressor, it would be a different story. If you have any questions about weapons or equipment, you should ask our military analyst, Nastasia. Her frequency is 141.52.
141.52. Alright. Let's call her and get her frequency saved in our contacts.
is Nastasha Romanenko. A pleasure to work with you, Solid Snake.
You're the nuclear specialist that the Colonel mentioned?
That's me. You can ask me anything about nukes that you want. I am also a military analyst, so I have an extensive knowledge of weapon systems as well. They asked me to participate in this operation as a supervisor from the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. I was happy to accept. We must not allow terrorists to get their hands on nuclear weapons of any kind. I hope I can help you to stop them.
You're a tough lady.
Those terrorists are serious about launching a nuclear weapon? The world cannot stand by idly and allow that to happen, and neither can I. Unfortunately, all I can do from here is provide you with information.
Hopefully that'll be enough. Another soldier here wouldn't make a difference anyway. It's good to work with you, Nastasha.
Same here, Snake.
Alright, let's go again. Just for fun of it.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island was built at the beginning of this century. It was made only to temporarily store the nuclear warheads.
Why? If they wanted to dispose of them, why wouldn't they just dismantle them right away?
They cannot do that. You see, when you dismantle a warhead, you still have nuclear materials that must be stored.
That makes
At
sense.
this point, all of the nuclear material storage facilities are way past capacity. But they could not stop dismantling weapons while at the same time pushing Start 2.
So you're telling me that this base was built so they could temporarily avoid being in conflict with Start 2?
Most people think that we live in a safer world now. But with all the dismantled nuclear weapons and waste around, the threat of nuclear terrorism has increased tremendously.
It's ironic, isn't it?
A little bit. Alright, let's equip my SOCOM and we'll ask Nastasha about it.
Хорошо. Good. You found a SOCOM. That's a Special Operations Command pistol. It's a 45 caliber pistol with plenty of stopping power. It's also equipped with a LAM for nighttime combat. If you hold down the weapon button, you can train the laser sight on the enemy to help you aim. If you find a SOCOM suppressor, you can equip that.
That will come in. That will very much come in handy.
For use by special forces, so I think it will be useful. Some people find it a little heavy and hard to use, but it shouldn't be a problem for you.
Alright, so just for the fun of it, we'll call Naomi about the cigarettes.
It looks like a cargo truck. They must use it for transporting goods around the base. It looks like a cargo...
You know, I'm trying to contact Naomi here.
It looks like a...
Alright. I guess I'll get out of the cargo truck. So, just as soon as it's safe.
It looks like a car... It looks like a...
I think Cam was trying to tell me that's a cargo truck. Alright. Let's hide. And just like in real life, equipping the cigarette gradually drains your health. Now that I moved away from the cargo truck.
Are you smoking?
Yeah, so what?
Didn't you know that cigarettes contain benzopyrene, a chemical that leads to lung cancer? We now know that when benzopyrene enters the body, it changes to benzopyrene diolipoxide, BPDE, and attaches to the receptors on the p53 gene, the gene which causes lung cancer. The BPDE attaches to the p53 gene in 3 specific locations and causes precancerous changes to the lung tissue.
You know a lot about science, but you don't know how good a cigarette tastes in the morning.
I don't think I want, and I don't want to know.
Nuclear weapons, nuclear reactors, hazardous waste. We are constantly being exposed to plutonium and other radioactive materials. Compared to that, smoking seems not so bad, no?
I thought Nastasha had something else to say about the cigarettes.
After the START II Accord was signed on January 3rd, 1993, Russia and the US reduced their strategic nuclear warheads to between 3,000 and 3,500 warheads each. They completely dismantled all of the ICBMs which contained MIRVs. As a result of that, there are over 15,000 dismantled nuclear warheads waiting to be disposed of.
A surveillance camera?
Surveillance camera, yeah. Now, surveillance cameras have a blind spot right underneath them. So, the reason why I'm taking the top floor route and the air duct on the top floor is because we got a security camera overlooking the bottom fence, as well as a guard sleeping right in front of it. So that's two obstacles right there. So compared to that entry route, this entry route is less riskier.
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not gonna believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon.
Copy that. Alright. Infiltration complete. Shadow Moses has successfully been penetrated. Giddily.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
Copy that. Alright. Observe the container from this vent. So that's the ladder where we'll come down from. Right. And also, when we're in crawl spaces like this, the radar is ineffective. That's true for any tight space we're in.
I moved the Darker Chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
Huh. No comment about an intruder. No, sometimes they play a cutscene afterwards where where one of the guards say that there's an intruder that's using stealth that already killed 3. Someone beside an intruder besides Snake. Sometimes it plays, sometimes it doesn't. You know, and I'm really not sure if there's a I'm not really sure if there's a requirement that you need to reach in order for that to play. Like if you already need to be spotted for that to play.
Press the action button to drop down.
Yes, sir. And there's a ration up ahead. But we are maxed out on rations, so we don't need to pick up anymore.
Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Okay. So we picked up some chap grenades. So yeah. Let me run through some more controls here for you guys. So circle is the action button. Use it to interact with stuff like use it to interact with elevator buttons, controls and whatnot. And it's also the punch button. So press once to throw a punch, press it multiple times to do a combo. It doesn't punching enemies doesn't kill them, just knocks them out. Now square is the weapon button, which we don't have a weapon equipped right now, so but you can do other stuff when you don't have a weapon equipped. You can grab onto enemies. You can grab onto enemies when they're close by, without moving the thumbstick. You can grab onto enemies by holding down the weapon button when you're next to them. So, and once you grab onto an enemy, you like tap the circle button slowly to knock them out, to knock them unconscious, or press it rapidly to break their necks. And also, you can throw them with the weapon button when you're moving the thumbstick while pressing square next to an enemy. You can do a throw. Though I'm referring to the PlayStation controls. You can just take what I tell you and apply it to the S-Boss and Switch controls. I'm assuming the layout is the same. So yeah, I just picked up thermal goggles. This is about the only time when the door becomes open. After rescuing the Doppler Chief and this door will become closed until you picked up the appropriate key card. I'm not really sure what key card you need. So, if you want to grab the thermal goggles early, you go ahead and you can just go ahead and head into that room. Just gotta keep an eye out for the cameras. Also, this floor that we're on, this upgraded floor they were on, it's noisy. As you can hear, it makes noise. So that will attract enemy attention. So you gotta be aware of that. Make sure that get underneath the camera. Also, I noticed the enemy. I noticed that guard on the bottom floor. Okay, should be safe to move now. I just want to make. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that it's not that the guy is not at the bottom of the stairs when I come down. Okay, so this is the elevator that I need. Oh, I also want to save. Get another one of Maylene's poetries.
You found out where the DARPA chief is. With his nanomachine transmitter, he should show up as a green dot on your radar when you get close. Try to find him. Come on, Snake, you can do it.
Thanks for the optimism. Okay, so B1. B1 basements.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
And he's right behind this wall. There he is. Inside that dirty little cell. Okay, there'll be a ladder at the end of this hallway. And a dut where another restroom will be. But again, we're maxed out, so we don't need it.
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder.
I could have ignored that call if I wanted to.
Oh, kinda damn cold. I hate Alaska. Boy, oh boy, that woman is built all right.
Yeah, and she's going to kick your ass shortly. It's pretty nice that you can set the controls to reverse here. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can set the the controls to reverse. Right, Double Chief's cell is going to be at the end of this. It's going to be at the end of this air duct.
Is that a woman? Not.
Yeah. Working Mel. She's really going at it with those sit-ups.
Snake, the DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really?
I wonder how long he's been sitting in that cell.
It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to
They're
the
talking
missile.
rather
What
loudly.
I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay?
I'm surprised the
We're conducting exercises
guard
with
didn't
new types of
hear him
experimental weapons.
sooner.
A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear.
It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between ArmsTech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data and then proceed to mass production. If it hadn't been for the revolution,
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex.
I want to build a Metal Gear
These
Rex.
guys are pros. They're all
After I finish Ray, I want to build a model of Metal Gear Rex. It's gonna be fun.
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes, Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of ArmsTech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Oh no!
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by ArmsTech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes, they cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. My ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical
One of the main Falcons still on.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Hey, what happened?
Are you okay, sir? Huh. You must have had some Taco Bell.
Dead. Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but
A heart attack? No,
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you, the Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
Alright. Let's contact our support team. Let's first call Master Miller and tell him the news.
You say the DARPA chief is dead?
Yeah. According to Naomi, it was a heart attack.
It couldn't be. Well, it looks like all you can do now is find Kenneth Baker, the president of Arms Tech. He's in the second floor basement, isn't he?
Yeah, on the other side of that wall that was cemented over.
Okay. Good luck, Snake. You can do it. Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
Alright, now let's call Nastasha. She has some things to say.
They were conducting exercises with this new Metal Gear prototype? Is that what the DARPA chief said?
Yeah.
What the hell?
So you know about Metal Gear.
Just rumors. I heard it is some kind of walking tank that can deliver an accurate nuclear strike from any terrain. Mountains, deserts, swamps, wherever. But you are the real expert on Metal Gear, aren't you, Snake?
Yeah, I guess I am. But what about the PAL system that the DARPA chief mentioned?
It is a device attached to a nuclear weapon system to prevent the missile from being armed or launched. Usually, a secret detonation code or combination is necessary to launch the missile.
According to the chief, there are 2 codes, and the terrorists already know one of them.
The other code? If the terrorists find out that one too.
Yeah, I've got to hurry and rescue President Baker.
Anything else to add?
PAL stands for Permissive Action Link. It is a safety system attached to nuclear missile systems. The missile cannot be fired without the insertion of a special electronic code. But if the terrorists have found out the detonation codes, they can launch the missiles anytime they want.
Is it possible to destroy the PAL system so that the missile can be fired even without inserting the detonation code?
I do not believe so. It is set up so that the warhead will become automatically inactive if any attempt is made to remove, deactivate, or destroy the PAL.
So unless the terrorists either learn the detonation codes or get their hands on the detonation code override keys, there's no way they can launch.
Do not be too sure. Any system can contain bugs or malfunctions. We cannot relax yet. I do not know much about Metal Gear. Just the little I have heard. I know it appeared in Outer Heaven in 1995, and then again in Zanzibar in 1999. Both were third world countries led by military regimes. They secretly developed Metal Gear to increase their military and political power throughout the world. But both were stopped by a lone hero. You, Solid Snake.
That was a long time ago.
So I wonder, how did Dr. Manar get the idea for Metal Gear? Because we from the other Metal Gear game, we know from the Metal Gear games that takes place before Outer Heaven, the idea of Metal Gear existed before then. So how did Dr. Manar get the idea for Metal Gear, I wonder?
The DARPA chief. Poor man. He has a heart attack right after you save him. I'm getting a bad feeling about this, Snake. Maybe you should let me save your mission.
Alright, now I gotta get out of here. What's going on? Hi. We're having a story contest? Hello there. I see you. I see you.
Don't move! So you killed the chief, you bastard! Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move!
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookies' eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie!
You're not one of them, are you?
Guys are about to have company.
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed. What are you doing? Don't think and shoot!
Alright, time for action. Alright, so let's equip our rations.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Alright. So here's a tip. Here's a tip. If you quickly uncrypt and re-equip your weapons, you do a reload. You know, that's provided you have any ammo remaining.
Thanks for the help.
Wait! Who are you?
we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea.
I'm curious to hear about it. Spooky.
Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So that was Mantis.
The one and only. Okay. So we've got a key card. As long as we have it equipped, we can open any doors. We can open any level 1 doors. Meryl's future husband, everybody. Sorry. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played Metal Gear Solid 4 yet. But yeah, Meryl's future husband there. Mom, how did you and Daddy meet? Well, your father was guarding us. Well, I was a prisoner. I was a prisoner, and your dad was guarding the cell I was in. But then I broke out, stole his clothes and his dignity. I'm not sure if I ever gave him his dignity back. Alright. I'm gonna pick up this ration. I'm gonna pick up this ration here. I wanna make sure I get full health for what's ahead. So all things considered, the game doesn't look great. The game doesn't look bad. it's aged. Let's face it, it's aged. But it's definitely not bad looking. Okay, let's save.
What is it, Snake?
I know there are some who would prefer that the resolution would be better or it's more sharper.
Snake, listen to what Lo Ji said. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. Just because you see an item doesn't mean that you always have to get it. If you don't really need it, think twice before you stick your neck out. It might not be worth it.
That's true. That's true. That's why I never went for the chaff grenades on the heliport. Too risky. Yeah, I know there might be some who prefer the graphics be upgraded. But personally, I'm just glad to be able to play these games on the newest systems. And I'm glad this gives Metal Gear and I'm glad this gives fans a chance to this gives people who never played these games before a chance to play through them. So one thing to watch out for in the armory armory here is that there are trapdoors in the floors. So if you hear a click, then you stepped on a trap floor, and you gotta book it. You gotta move immediately, or you fall to your doom. And trust me, they're here. Oh, grenades. I meant to equip C4 instead of grenades. But yeah, there was definitely trapdoors in this below in this room here. So let me demonstrate. There we go. Obviously, not as annoying as the trap floors I had to deal with in the previous two games. But yeah, this is a good place to start up. You won't find every type of weapon in this floor, but this is a good place to start up on SOCOM, bombs, as well as different types of grenades. Also, walls that you have to blow open will look kind of like this. Also, they'll make a sound when you're up against the wall and press the punch button. Like, walls will normally sound like that, but walls that have been cemented over will sound like this. You just blow them open with C4, use weapon button to place C4, and then punch button to detonate. Alright, let's equip the rations, equip the SOCOM, and look what's ahead. The arms tech president. I just had to.
You idiot!
You know, hearing that in my last playthrough, it reminds me of Ren and Stimpy, of how which Stimpy was the smaller dog, right? It reminded me of how Stimpy would say, "You idiot." But yeah, I just had to. Alright. This time, we're going to say the arms tech president. Alright, let's equip the SOCOM, my rations, and let's rescue the president.
Am I too late? He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right? Don't worry. I'm here to save you.
No, don't touch it.
C4.
Right. Touch that wire, and the C4 will blow up along with the old man. So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about.
And you?
Special Operations Foxhound.
Revolver Ocelot.
I've been waiting for you, Solid Snake. Now we'll see if the man can live up to the legend. This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves.
Should I do that draw joke again? You guys probably remember in my previous, the first time I did playthrough of Metal Gear Solid on stream, I did a joke where I grabbed a sketch pad and a pencil and pretended to draw because Ocelot said draw.
If you've got a question about Foxhound, ask Dr. Naomi.
Revolver Ocelot is a former member of Spetsnaz. After the fall of the Soviet Union, he apparently served in the Russian tax police's elite SWAT team. After that, he joined the SVR, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Agency, which was formerly a part of the KGB. But according to my sources, he was dissatisfied with the rigid system of the KGB and wanted to get out. That's when he was recruited by Foxhound. He's a gun fanatic and totally obsessed with cowboy movies and spaghetti westerns. He's also something of a sadist. He learned the most advanced torture techniques while he was with Spetsnaz.
Yeah, he had plenty of practice. Lubyanka prison is located right there inside KGB headquarters. In a gunfight, reloading is usually the most dangerous time, but he loves it. Use that to your advantage. You'll have to take him out when he's reloading. Can you see where his number of remaining bullets is displayed on the screen? Wait for the right moment and then take him out.
Right. So yeah, we see
I understand the bullets you see. I make them.
So yeah, first off, do not cross the center of the room. Because you still got the armset present wired to explosives. So if you cross the wires, the armset present will blow up. Not good. So yeah, I have to rely on the weapons auto lock on, and take shots at Ocelot.
Better hurry up. The old man's not gonna last too long. Don't you want to settle this? I love the smell of corn. You know, that sultry smell. But to you, it'll be the smell of your own death.
Wait a minute. No, you're not gonna wait a minute. I'm not gonna wait a minute. You having fun, Ocelot? Well, I just whooped you.
You're pretty good. Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up. What? My hand! Stealth camouflage. Can't you even die right? You were lucky. We'll meet again. Who are you? I like you. I have no name.
That exoskeleton.
Who the hell? Can you talk?
Who are you?
I'm not one of them. The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation code. What about yours?
Oh, I get it.
Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
Answer my question. What about your code? There's no time.
I talked.
What? Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis's mind probe.
He couldn't read you? How'd you do it?
Surgical implants in my brain.
Surgical implants?
Kind of like a psychic insulation. Everyone who knows these top secret codes has it.
Even the DARPA chief?
Of course.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis got his code by reading his mind.
Are you sure you heard him right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Odd.
In that case, how did they get your code?
I never had any training on how to resist torture.
It looks like he had some fun with you, all right.
Oh, he's not human. I tell you, he loved every second of it.
What happened to your arm?
He broke it.
Looks like you're more than even now. His was sliced off.
Ha! You're a
Yeah,
funny
you
man.
had to hand it off a lot.
So
But
the
then-
DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be. No, that's not what you promised, Jim. Now you want to shut me up? Oh.
Calm down. What's wrong with you? I just told you I was here to save you. I didn't kill the DARPA chief. He had a heart attack or something.
A heart attack? Oh, don't be a fool.
Anyway, the terrorists have both codes now.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree, but what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
No, not anymore.
What? Who does then? Not the terrorists.
No, that woman.
Woman? Who?
A soldier that was thrown in prison along with me.
A female soldier. It must be.
She said she had just joined up as a new recruit. They threw her in prison because she refused to take part in the rebellion.
A new recruit? Could that be the Colonel's niece?
I gave her the key. Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she is. She's green, but as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
I was in contact with her by codec. Until I was tied up here, that is.
Codec?
Yes, she stole it from the guard. If she still has it, you should be able to contact her.
I'm sure she still has it. What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Damn!
Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the CD case. Try to contact her.
I'll contact her right away.
He means
But tell
the,
me, if
he
this
means
doesn't work,
case
is there
the
some
game
other way to
came
prevent
in.
the missile launch?
You need to find
You know I
Hal
love
Henry, one of my
Kojima's
employees.
fourth wall
Who's that?
breaking.
The team leader of the Metal Gear Rex project. A genius at engineering, but a little bit of an oddball. If there's anyone who can figure out how to stop Metal Gear from launching, it's him.
What if he can't come up with anything?
You'll have to destroy it. Emmerich knows how to
excuse me.
destroy Metal Gear.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been. The amount of spent nuclear fuel and plutonium is increasing even today. Listen, have you ever seen a warehouse full of nuclear material?
No.
Drums and drums of nuclear waste stacked this high, as far as you can see. Because there's still no real way to dispose of the stuff.
So they just close the lid and try to pretend like it'll go away?
Essentially, yes. And they're not even doing a good job of storing it. Many of the drums are corroded, with nuclear waste seeping out of them.
Unbelievable.
Not only that, but several pounds of muff are reported every year.
Muff?
It stands for material unaccounted for. It proves that there's a large and well-organized black market in nuclear materials. Furthermore, since the end of the Cold War, Russian nuclear engineers in particular are out of work with no way to turn. In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb.
We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other
Bomb.
superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
You mean Metal Gear?
Yes. You know our industry suffered quite a blow as a result of the cuts in military budgets due to this so-called peace.
I remember hearing a lot about mergers and takeovers among the big weapons makers.
Yes, and after my company lost their bid to produce the Air Force's next line of fighter jet, the Metal Gear system was our last ace in the hole. That's why we pushed to have Metal Gear developed as a black project.
Black Project?
Secret projects paid for by the Pentagon's black budget. You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business. Anyway, Metal Gear was going to be formally adopted after the results of this exercise were analyzed.
I don't give a crap about you and your company.
Yes, that's about what I'd expect from a grunt like you. Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss. I'll give you my card too. It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
You know him?
You should ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She knows better than I.
Naomi?
You've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
What? Doesn't Metal Gear use currently existing technology?
Metal Gear itself does, but...
Here you go again.
What did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
And there he goes.
What the hell?
I still say it was a Taco Bell.
Colonel, are you listening? Now he's dead too.
I have no idea.
Don't lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example, potassium chloride or dioxides, but we won't be able to tell without doing an autopsy.
Damn!
Snake, I want you and Meryl to work together.
Can I trust her?
More than you can trust me. Get in contact with her.
Snake, there's a lot of electrical interference coming from there. It should be okay if you do burst transmission like us, but normal transmission is probably impossible. Try moving away from that area.
Snake, get a hold of yourself.
Naomi, what the hell was that ninja thing? A member of Foxhound?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no one like that in our unit.
Is that right?
Snake, I'm counting on you.
Alright, so... yeah. Let's save.
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area. There's some kind of electronic jamming coming from there. I wonder what it is. Anyway, be careful.
Okay, let's save.
Be careful, Snake.
Alright. So that's gonna be it for the night. That's gonna be it for the night. I got far enough. I got far enough tonight, and we can pick right back up from where I left off next time. But yeah, had a great time. Had a great time streaming tonight. Thank you all for joining by and hanging out. Sorry for the burps. Yeah. Thank you to Claire for the resub. But yeah, we'll be back I'll be back live next time with some more Metal Gear Solid. Got a tank to fight. Got to rescue Dr. Emmerich. And yeah, we'll probably get into a fight with Psycho Mantis. But and definitely a ninja. Definitely a ninja. But yeah, thank you guys for joining by, hanging out. We appreciate you guys. You all have a great night. You all have a great week. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys. Stay nerdy.